Hello everyone, my name is Harold Meyer. For those of you who don't know, I have something called Tourette syndrome, which means I make random muscle movements sometimes, and they're not controllable. But anyway, today we're going to be talking about Touch My Angel Season 4, Episode 4, Nothing But Net. But first, I would like to remind y'all that in another video today that we're going to be talking about Genesis 3:8 if you haven't seen that already. And tomorrow we're going to be doing Star Trek Fleet Command Part 33 if everything goes well. And by everything goes well, I mean that my internet, doesn't kick me off a lot and things like that. But yeah, so let's talk about the episode. And for those of you who are wondering, this part let's watch whenever all we do is talk about it. I mean, kind of thinking about changing the title, but I'm not really sure what to put it as. So if it does start as let's watch instead, I've been thinking about maybe talking about putting it let's talk about or something like that. So if it's not, if at the beginning of this video is not let's watch, y'all know why. Because we don't show any clips from the show or anything like that. Because, copyright. And I understand that, people need to make money off of their videos, but I also understand that I need to make a little bit of money too. And right now my channel is not eligible for ads, but one day I hope that it is. If y'all see an ad, it's probably because something that I don't own, I showed. But yeah, so let's talk about the episode. Now in the episode, I highly recommend those of you who haven't watched it, watch it immediately because I'm going to spoil some things for y'all. So it deals with the fact that sometimes the people that we look up to have disabilities, and we don't realize what those are. And when we finally realize what they are, it means like they're not our heroes anymore. Like for example, in this episode, well, I know this is a bad example, but people can abuse that too. And in this episode, they do that. In fact, they find out that one of the I want to say baseball players. For those of you who live in the U.S. and for those of you who don't, I think it's called soccer. I think that's what the name of it is. But or it might be called football. No, is it football? It might be called football. I don't know. But basically one the person that they got a man named Easy Money, or as we shorten it, is I forgot his real name, but that's his abbreviation, and that's what they call him a lot in the episode. By the way, I'm not trying to make fun of anybody that plays sports that is named Easy Money or something like that. I'm not trying to make that. I'm trying to say that who we look up to can be taken advantage of. Can be some of us have disabilities that we don't want everybody else to know, and whenever somebody finds out, they take advantage of that. And that's what that episode deals with. Somebody that we look up to and somebody that is being taken advantage of. Because in the episode, Easy Money couldn't read or write. Well, he could write, but he could only write his name, his abbreviation. I think I'm not sure. It didn't say his entire name, so I'm not sure about that. But he could write his abbreviation of his name. But yeah, so how do we deal with the fact that some of our heroes have disabilities? Well, to me, it's like this book. They have this book the title, I believe, says that all to err is human, which means that if we make a mistake, all that means is that we're human. And sometimes we can, try to talk ourselves into like an excuse, like maybe we did because of this or that. Sorry, I just burped. But yeah, so sometimes we make excuses for things. Sometimes we do foolish things. Sometimes we do sinful things. Sometimes we put money before God. Sometimes we do that. We put money before God. And sometimes we put things like maybe like us buying a bag of chips whenever there's somebody else that's starving that really needs some bread or something healthy, but we're not giving it to them. Instead, we're buying us a bag of chips and we're gonna go out and party and do all the fun stuff, do some fun stuff. But yeah, so to me, it's a very complicated episode because it also deals with poverty. The little boy who doesn't have much, who has to deal with the fact that he lives in a poor neighborhood and where there's a bunch of like gang violence and stuff like that that goes on. And look, that's sad. I will admit that's sad. And at one point, Easy Money tells him that he's never gonna grow to be like him. And he might never grow to be like him. But I tell you one thing, that little boy that just have that just made me so sad at a moment. But then at the end they have the scoreboard thing and they had an angel that messed up and then they had they had four people basically that saw it, not counting God and Jesus and the Holy Spirit. But they had they had three angels and one kid. Oh no, five people. Three angels, one kid, and easy money. I forgot the kid's name. I think it's I forgot his name. I don't know right off that. I'm doing this a little early because I want to get this video done. And for those of you who don't know, my sister is gonna have a baby, so I'm not sure how often I'm gonna be able to do these videos. Not sure about that. So yeah, my video schedule might change. I don't know. Like, if I have to, I could cut out the gameplay video, but I don't really want to because I can use them games to reach people. And I don't do like games that are that violent. I mean, I do games that do with killing, but let's face facts. A lot of games these days do with killing. I'm sorry, I keep on looking to the left. To the left, that's where my recording stuff at. Because right in front of me is the dates that gonna be doing things. By the way, the dates that we're gonna do our videos is on the 30th. We have two videos. We have Genesis 3:8, and we have this one. And on the 31st, we have Star Trek Fleet Command Part 33. And for those of you who don't know what Star Trek Fleet Command is, it's a game. It's available, as far as I know, only on Android devices. And you get to you start off with like a star base, a fleet, which is just one ship, and a planet. So with those three things, and from there you get to like you can do missions. You can research some technology if you have your everything up to date whenever it comes to certain technologies. Like all of the requirements for the technologies be met, and you can mine. Yeah, so yeah, and I try to I know that sometimes that can be sinful because it's Star Trek, and a lot of episodes deal in Star Trek deal with evolution. If you need an example, there's let's see, there's that one episode in Voyager where it was where where Tom Paris and Captain Janeway both turn into evolve and turn into these weird animal things. And then there's the final the last two episodes of Star Trek: The Next Generation, which one of them I want to say is the last one that deals with where we came from, what the show says we came from. So yeah, that can be sinful, but I just disagree with some of the episodes, and I think that you know I just disagree with them. Some of the writers, things like that. And I choose not to watch those episodes most of the time. I say most of the time. It's been a while since I watched an episode, like years, but still. And sometimes I like to watch All Good Things because it kind of wraps up the what kind of there's like it's the final episode of Star Trek: The Next Generation, so I kind of like it for that because it deals with what could happen in the future, and through Star Trek Record, I guess we're gonna see if it really shows up, if it really happens like it did in that episode or episodes. Sorry. Yeah, so let's get back to the video. So yeah, so we have a bunch of things that happen. We also have an angel that okay, my phone just well my house phone just went off, but yeah, and sometimes it says people's names and I don't want anybody name to be said, because that's their own privacy, they wanna call us or not. So yeah, so as time goes on, that angel who's supposed to be observing them ends up interfering and ends up making some mistakes. She makes, to my knowledge, two mistakes. One in the beginning where they have this fan that's supposed to catch his jersey, and because of her, he doesn't. And the other mistake is whenever he t- he tells and she tells the person that easy money can't read. Yeah. So they had to change their plan a little. The Angels had to change their plans a little. Yeah, so and I do realize that Touched by an Angel, not everybody fully understands it, or not everybody's gonna give it a chance. Listen, just give it a chance. Just give it a chance. It's easy to sit here and say you should do this or that or whatever. But what you should do is you should worship God and honor God, glorify Him. That's what you should do. Glorify Him. And yeah, so sometimes our heroes are not who have weaknesses that we don't know about. And sometimes it could be like they could be in the middle of a bad relationship with somebody else, or sometimes they could be doing things that they shouldn't be doing, or sometimes it could be both, or sometimes um they invest in something and they lose money in it, things like that, or sometimes they got injured, like what happens with sports players. Sometimes they get injured and that's their injury for life. But listen, we need to pray for the people that play sports and pray that they follow God and that they can be beacons of hope. And that because we need all the hope, we need all the beacons. What do I mean by beacons of hope? I mean like somebody you can turn to and be like, man, they have a really good relationship with God. Yeah. Yeah, it is freezing and I'm about to go get my covers. And sometimes some of us people who we don't realize people look up to us and we make mistakes, and what happens is because we make a mistake, they think that it's okay for them to do the same thing. Well, A, it's not okay. It's not okay. It's not, simply not. Yeah, so and what do we do about it? Well, we say we're sorry. We explain to them that, we're human. We tell them things that encourage them, hopefully. And we explain to them that, if they want to look up to anybody, look up to Jesus Christ. Or look up to God the Father. Or look up to the Holy Spirit. Or just look up to God in general. Not to look up to any human being because we'll make a mistake. Or we have made mistakes before, or both. But tell them that there's a God out there that loves them. And we might not be able to show it our love for them through like things like a TV screen, but God's right there beside them, and He loves them. He loves us. He loves us all. He loves us all, and He sent His only begotten Son to die on a cross for us. And that's very, very important that they learn that. Very important that they learn that. Because sometimes some of us we do foolish things. We do embarrassing things. We do things that don't represent God. We do things that represent, uh, sometimes like, we do things like, worshiping false idols. Whether that be, you know, and sometimes we listen to bad music. That could be worshiping a false idol depending on what the music says. Or sometimes we watch a TV show instead of going to church. Or sometimes we put something else before God. Listen, God says that it's okay, that He knows that we've sinned, and it's okay to ask for forgiveness. But don't keep on doing the same sin over and over again and keep on asking for forgiveness. Because eventually He's going to say no. Eventually He's going to get tired. Eventually He's going to, um, just get tired of it all. And we don't need to worship false idols. That's what the episode was basically about. Worshipping the false. Well, they had two false idols. One, well, it was the same person, but one person was basically how should I put this? Um, not worshipped, but had how should I put this? He was a fan of a certain player called Easy Money, and Easy Money basically he trusted only himself, and that almost got him killed. That almost got him killed. Almost did. He came close. He came very, very close. I would be. He had a gun aimed at his head, and then an angel appeared. Well, first of all, the lights turned on, but then the angel appeared. I might have been about the same time. I don't know. But yeah, so should we worship false idols? No, and that's what the episode was kind of talking about. Not literally worshiping him, but being a fan of him. And him uh, only trusting himself. Easy money, only trusting himself and the little kid for being a fan of Easy Money. And he did break the law in the episode. He brought a little kid to a bar. Well, I say a little kid. He might be a teenager, but he wasn't 18 yet, so you could tell just by the way he looked. And please keep those of us who worship false idols in our prayers. Because listen, sometimes I'm a fan of things, and sometimes I have to put things before God. Sometimes I put Star Trek before God. Sometimes I put old TV shows before God. Sometimes I put horror movies before God. Sometimes I put superheroes movies before God. Before God, as in I could be worshiping Him, but I chose to do something else. And sometimes it's not necessarily sinful if it's educational and not propaganda. Which these days, they got a lot of, and what do I mean by propaganda? I mean like movies that support only one side of a conflict and make like something like the president look very good and make the enemy look very bad intentionally, and not because of how it actually happened, but because of the way it's being framed. Like you know. Anyway, I just go where the Spirit leads me, and right now, I believe He's leading me to talk about same-sex marriage, which that I'm opposed to, because I understand that some of us want to be that agenda, but we're born a certain way because of how God has planned our lives, and if He wanted us, let's say we're male and wanted to be female. Well, if he wanted us to be female, we'd have been born female. And if let's say it's the other way around, is a male, and we wanted to be female, or it still applies. Female wanted to be males, and males wanted to be females. It still applies. And He doesn't want a man to be married to another man because He didn't create Adam and Ted, he created Adam and Eve. Which Ted, maybe that's what y'all saying, maybe I should say Adam and Steve. I don't want to offend anybody named that, but maybe there's a reason why we're born a certain gender, and I don't believe that we should alter our gender to fit what we want. Anyway, let me pause right quick. I'm gonna go get my covers because it's cold. Okay, yeah, I'm back. So yeah, Adam and Eve were created for because God didn't want men to be married to men. He wanted men to be married to women, and not women to be married to women. He wanted women to be married to men. And listen, if I offend y'all, so what? But there are some times that we need to be told the truth. And listen, if you have changed genders, then that's a sin, but you can be forgiven of that sin if you turn towards God and mean it with your whole heart, and maybe you can have surgery to become the opposite gender, the gender that you originally was. I don't know. But if you can, then God still forgives you if you mean it with your whole heart. That's what I believe. I believe that God can forgive you. I believe that. And listen, sometimes some of us need to be baptized because what baptism is us showing the world that we're taking our relationship with God seriously. And sometimes we need to do it again because our relationship with God has gone downhill. And so keep that in your hearts and minds. Also, please pray for our troops, and please pray for the people that live in that are protesting in China, and I think there's protests in Vietnam. And please keep the people that I'm trying to remember their name, Ukraine, people that live in Ukraine in your prayers, because I think Russia wants to take the whole country. And that's just sad. I don't know if I could live with their being Russia's president right now. Please keep him in your prayers too. Maybe he'll change his mind and withdraw all troops from see there I go again. I'm sorry, I'm not perfect. Let me see, let me try to remember the name again. Hold on, let me pause it. Ukraine. I'm sorry, I had to pause and just think about it. But please keep them in your prayers. And also please keep everybody else in your prayers too, including me. Because me, I'm seeing a whole bunch of doctors because I have Tourette syndrome. I have high blood pressure. I've had a history of negative thoughts and bad actions. Uh, you know, and I've had a history. I have anxiety problems, or at least I used to, but sometimes I still do. But yeah, so yeah, just please keep me in your prayers. Also, please make sure that be careful with putting the information out there because some sites are run by hackers and scammers and both, and they'll take your last penny if they can in your bank account. That's why I recommend getting a security thing for your phone or your computer and a trusted one, not a random thing. I recommend Northern. That seems to be pretty good. I also recommend what is it? What is it? What is it? I forgot what it's called, but I had it before. If I remember, if y'all ask me, I might put it in the comment section, wherever that's at. Or if it's on Twitter, well, y'all can probably reach me better by using it as a link to YouTube. I don't tweet much, but whenever I do, it's an episode of God's House. And the best way to contact me would probably be through my phone number as a text message. And and make sure you say, hey, I found out about you through YouTube. Because if y'all don't, I'm probably going to think that it's spam and I'm probably going to block your number. Yeah, so, anyway, I hope that, y'all can use me to reach other people. To reach people around the world. I hope you can use us to do, let me be more correct. I hope you can use us to do it. God says to spread the gospel to the ends of the earth, and that's what we're doing right now. Except where YouTube's blocked that, and Facebook and Twitter's blocked that, which is probably China, North Korea, and Vietnam, I guess. I'm not sure about Vietnam, but I know for sure China and North Korea. Sorry, I just had my Tourette's episode. The Tourette's episode. My hair doesn't really itch, it's just, well, it's just my Tourette's. And yeah, so please keep God's house in your prayers. And we'll somehow continue to be able to support to do videos like this. If y'all want to donate money, there's a Patreon page. If y'all have any trouble with that, let me know. There's a Patreon page in the description. And yeah. Please please keep you know everybody basically in your prayers because the price hikes and electricity going up in some area, the cost of electricity might be going up for some people. And please keep our hospitals in your prayers and our nurses and doctors because a lot of them are risking their lives right now trying to save people and they just can't do it on their own anymore. And yeah. So and so we need each other badly. We need each other. And God says, look, men is supposed to go out with men, not men and not men and men, or women and women. So men is supposed to go out with woman. I'm sorry, that's what I meant. Men is supposed to go out with woman, and woman is supposed to go out with men, not the same sex marriage going out together. And it's okay to have a friend, but just make sure that friend knows that you're a Christian and that you don't support same sex marriage. Listen, I'm a male. A lot of the population is male. I think it's about 60% of the world's population is male. And the reason why that goes into some scientific stuff. Or it could be off. It could be it could be the other way around. Maybe 60% of the population is women. But, you know, we all. I believe that not all of us, but a lot of us have somebody out there that how should I put this? That really is looking for somebody. A lot of us have somebody. Like, a lot of us have an opposite. And somebody out there, whether if you be a male, then that would be a female. If you be a female, then that would be a male. Somebody that we can really relate to. Somebody that really understands us. Somebody that really helps us. Yeah, something like that. I'm sorry, I know I went off subject, but that's where I felt that the spirit was leading me to. And you know, a bunch of us right now have role models that believe that same-sex marriage is not a sin. Well, it is a sin. It is. Now I can understand, you know, having a male friend whenever you're a male, but a male husband whenever you're a male, no. And I know that right now people are getting very angry at me and probably gonna unsubscribe. That's the way I feel. And might go get some water and live out my house and kind of dry. But yeah, that's how I feel. And listen, the Bible says sin is sin. So if you committed that sin where you either married somebody who's the opposite sex, who is the same sex, or had surgery to become another sex, that sin is sin. There's no little white sin. There is no giant sin. Sin is sin, and and sin is anything against God or His creation. Well, I say, well, maybe not that part because then that would go into hunting might be sinful. Because, you know, you're killing some of God's creations, but in self-defense. But, anyway, I'm not saying that those are sinful. I'm just saying that, you know, God created you a certain way for a certain reason, and that you shouldn't change that unless unless you find that you want to be the opposite sex, then you should change your whole lifestyle and not be that. I do believe in tomboys and tomgirls, but what I don't believe in is you know, a man marrying a man. I don't believe that that's nice. You know, I believe that that's a sin. A man marrying a man. That's what I believe. I could be wrong, but that's what I believe. In the Bible, it doesn't, you know, back then they didn't have men marrying men a lot of times. It's mostly men marrying women and women marrying men. But, sometimes we have to take into consideration that what's going on now wasn't going on, 222 years ago. Sorry, 2022 years ago. But, and the reason why I said that was because that's the day that, this is, that's the day that Jesus was born, or that we choose to go by, that we choose to put on our calendar that Jesus was born. But listen, God loves you. He does. He does. Most of us are asking, where's the proof that God loves me? Why is there so much sin in this world? Well, thanks to Adam and Eve, we was born into a world of sin. So sometimes some of us have disabilities or with disabilities, or we're born into a bad situation where our mother and father might not like us, or they might have tried to abort us and it failed. You know, but yeah. So if y'all have any questions or comments about anything, let me know in the comment section, wherever that's at, or y'all can tweet me. I probably won't get it, so the best way to do it would probably be through my cell phone, or through YouTube, or through Facebook. Because if I remember, I'll put it on Twitter, but that's a big if I remember. I do these videos about a week, sometimes two ahead of schedule, ahead of the time that they need to come out. So that way, if something happens at the last minute, like let's say the power goes out, my video would still be uploaded. And some people are like, why don't you just do it live? Well, if I did it live, my internet would be a lot worse off. Already it's bad. Like this video alone probably is gonna take about 4 hours to upload. Like 3.5 to 4 hours, something like that. And that's not my gameplay video. My gameplay videos take about the same. Well, it might take slightly longer. But, well, if you counting editing, it takes longer with my gameplay videos. Because I have to put it onto an SSD, then put that SSD and plug that into my computer. Because my computer and my phone, I can't see files from either one of them whenever they're both connected together. At least that's the way it is now. Maybe they changed it. Or maybe that's the way it was. There was a recent update. And it fixed some issues with my app. At least it did for me. At least it did for me. By the way, for those of you who are wondering how do I deal with my Tourette's, well, I try not to let it control my life. But I also have to understand that there are some things where I just can't do without help, or some events I just can't attend to. Yeah, so and I know that Christmas is coming up. So or it's already came up by the time this video comes out. And for those of us who have lost loved ones this year, and who have lost friends and family members, and this might be a hard time of year for y'all, I pray that God, maybe if He doesn't stop the pain, maybe He can. By pain, I mean sorrow, I mean crying, sadness, basically. And He'll replace that pain with sadness. Because a bunch of us right now are experiencing our first Christmas without a person. And it can be hard and challenging. I don't know that from experience, but I do know that, you know, that other people have said that, because I'm still young. I'm not even 30 yet. Not even 30. I'm like, 28 or 29. Yeah. So, I want to say I'm like 28 or 29. I don't want to reveal my exact age. But, yeah. And, please, please keep the people who have gotten scammed in your prayers, because some of them have lost their whole, fortune due to scams. And some people have, lost family members. Maybe not due to scams, but like I was saying earlier, this year some of us have lost family members. Whether that be to COVID or something else, or maybe a war like in Ukraine or in Russia, or what got to help my little brother out with some things. But yeah, so uh just we need to take time out of our day just to praise and honor and study the Word of God. And sorry, let me start over. We need to take the time out of our day to praise and worship God and to study His holy word. We need to do that. Because if we don't do that, then as Christians, what are we doing? How can we call ourselves a Christian if we don't have a good relationship with God? I mean, I know that a lot of us start off with like having a bad relationship and then we grow closer, but some of us have been Christians for 30, 40 years and we still have a bad relationship with God. So yeah, so we need to pray. I would say study the Bible whenever you can. I know that some people have jobs, some people have other things that that are not necessarily sinful, like being a teacher or well, I guess it was having a job. But yeah, and sometimes we have important things that come up, and we can't always study the Bible. Like something might come up at the last minute. But what we need to do is study the Bible and apply it to our life. That's what we need to do. That's what the Bible is there for. That's what the Bible is there for. To study it and apply it to our lives. And we need to also praise and worship God whenever we can. Whenever we're not studying the Bible or have work, or sometimes we just need a stress relief. So a good Christian song might help with that. We relieve some stress. Because it's been proven that songs can relieve stress. It's been proven. And sometimes, for those of you who have trouble sleeping, maybe y'all put on a Christian song before you go to bed. But make sure, the best thing to do would probably be without the lyrics. Because, we don't want to be, singing along with it and then trying to sleep, and no, it's not good. So, but listen, as Christians, we need to stand up for our beliefs. And if we don't, then this world is going to just keep on getting more messed up and more messed up. We need to stand firm in our beliefs. And we need to just do our own homework on like who we vote for in office and make sure that they have a good Christian foundation and that they have a good relationship with God. Because listen, I could tell you who to vote for. I could tell you who to get out of office. I could tell you that, but that's not you're listening to me, my opinion. But you're not listening to God's opinion. Unless somehow it's working through me, but you know. And listen, I very rarely say you should vote for this person or that person. And I know that came out of nowhere, but I don't know what I was doing before resumed the the recording because I held my little brother for a good 30, 40 minutes. And I'm just finishing this up right now. But yeah, and listen, sometimes we need help. Like my little brother, he needed help, and I helped him. Sometimes we need each other. Sometimes we can't do it all on our own. And sometimes, even though we pray to God for Him to help us, it doesn't seem like He's helping us. Well, listen, sometimes God sends people to help us. He doesn't do it Himself sometimes. Sometimes He sends people to help us. Or He doesn't send angels. Sometimes He sends actual people. Because there have been incidents in my life where I can only describe it as somebody that helped me or someone. Like for example, whenever I was in middle school, um, my sister had these surgeries, and I think my mama was I think if I remember right, I think she was having a surgery, and my mama was with her, and I just got back home from school. Which maybe I should have been with my sister, but I don't know. But anyway, I accidentally locked myself out of the house. But I prayed to God. Well, something weird happened where somebody opened the door for me and I couldn't see who it was. But I don't know who that was, but somebody opened the door for me. And I've also had a dream slash vision or whatever you want to call it. I was by myself, surrounded by darkness, and a voice said that he had something very special planned for me, and he said that I shall be a pastor. And as the years went on, I was asked God, if that was what he said, because I didn't really remember it that well, and if it was, how shall I be that? And he told a friend of mine and God told him that he wanted me to be a pastor, that I should be ordained by my church. So yeah, that really means a lot to me that God did that for me. And it's kind of what I'm doing right here. I'm kind of being a pastor right now. I mean, a lot of people think that you need fancy equipment and stuff, whether that be doing a video or if you have a building, you need like fog machines and I a band. But no, you don't need that. You know what you need? Have God in your heart and to try to reach people. That's what you need. And to have that good relationship with God where others can say, man, I wish I was like such and such, or such and such really touched me, or this message really moved me. Things like that. Things like that. And we really do need one another. We really do. We really do. Because it can be hard, especially around this time of the year, to go through it by ourselves. And sometimes, a stranger might be like, can I have a good meal and a place to sleep? And sometimes the answer might be, if we feel led to, yes. Sometimes the answer might be no. Because, they might be an alcoholic, or they might be just poor, just had bad, they might have been poor their whole life and might not have a place to stay at. Somebody might have abandoned them whenever they were small, and they just don't have no skills or anything, have no useful skills. And we need to be there for them as Christians. There's an old saying, if you feed a man a fish, you feed him for a day. If you teach a man two fish, you feed him for a lifetime. So a lot of times we need to share our knowledge of what we learned with others. Listen, if anybody asks me, hey, how do you capture video? I use my camera, which is an Elgato face cam. I'm looking at it right now, and I use a program called OBS, or Open Broadcast System, to capture. Both of those things I use. And if somebody were to ask me what kind of computer would I recommend, well, to me, it all depends on what you want to, on how you want to reach people. If you want to use video games, I suggest a Windows computer, a decent Windows. They got a bunch of them out there, but if you want to do other things, I suggest if you want to record movies and stuff, I suggest a Mac. With let's see what's it called. I'm trying to remember the name of it. I don't use it, but it's Adobe Premiere or something. I think it is. No, and Sony Vegas. Sony Vegas too. That can be expensive though. But that's whenever you really get into the AAA movies. If not, if you just start off, iMovie is perfectly good and it's free. It's from the App Store on Macs. So if you have an account on if you have an Apple account, you can get it for free. But the bad thing about that is it doesn't have that many fancy effects or anything. It just has the bare basics. But listen, let's take a moment out of our time just to remember the ones that we've lost, the ones that are no longer with us, the ones that uh, just all of the sadness. Let's take a moment out of our time just to do that. I'm gonna wait about 10 seconds. Okay, it's been about 10 seconds. Okay, so I'll see y'all next time, guys. Bye. Hello, everybody. This has been the Major God's House production, and I would like to remind y'all that we do have a Patreon page. Now, for those of you who don't know what Patreon is, or if I haven't gone over it in a video, Patreon is a monthly subscription service that you can use to donate money to your favorite organization, charity, church, whatever. Anyway, we start at $3 a month. Now, I understand that not all of us can afford $3 a month. But that's what we start off at. Then it goes to $9 a month. That's even less of us can afford that. Then it's $25 a month. And the reason why I have $25 a month is because I like to have a more expensive option out there for those of us who have the income. Yeah, so this is God's House's Facebook. If y'all want to follow us on there, y'all can do it. The link's in the description. This is our YouTube channel. This is where we mainly do most of our content. And the reason for that is because I go on YouTube a lot, so I naturally do most of my content on YouTube. And this is our Twitter page. Now, our Twitter page It's probably the one I use the least, but y'all can follow me on there and y'all can get up-to-date videos about, what I think is important. Like, for example, I recently shared a video about, about a school shooting that took place in Texas and about gun laws. And I don't always necessarily support their beliefs, but I support their ideas of some people. If that makes any sense. Anyway, bye guys.